Hey guys, welcome back to Hell is Us. This is part 18 of our 19-part walkthrough. Please don't forget to hit like and subscribe before we get started so that you're always notified when I come out with a new guide. So getting started, this is right where we left off in the last video. We are getting ready to complete the game and defeat the final 4 Timeloop Guardians. I'm going to start by equipping my twin axes of rage as well as my twin axes of grief. The first 2 enemies we're going to be fighting are going to be Ecstasy and Terror variants, so I want to have the correct axes to counterbalance those. In my opinion, from what I've seen, you don't want to use the same limbic sphere as the enemy you're fighting. It's not quite as effective. So here I'm just making sure that I'm equipping the correct suppressors, and I put some tuning stones in as well. We're going to be taking out the Ecstasy variant first, so I'm going to equip Ecstasy suppressors. That will help you to lose less health when that particular limbic variant enemy attacks you. These are pretty much essential on normal mode. You can use them or you don't have to on easy. I think I use it with the Ecstasy. I'm not sure about any of the others. Here I leveled up my weapon a little bit. I'm going to check the other one and level it up as well. We want it as close to completely leveled up as possible. And of course, as you're fighting, you will gain experience as well. Make sure to make a save before moving on. And there will be several enemies just kind of wandering around. Make sure to take all of them out because, of course, we want every enemy defeated so that when we close the time loop, this area is completely clear. This is a pretty straightforward area. It's just a square. There are maze-like features to it, but it's nothing overly difficult. You'll just have to make sure and get into every area that you possibly can. From where we spawned in, you'll want to go straight and to the left. This is how we get to the first Timeloop Guardian, which you can see back there is absolutely gigantic. These guys are quite challenging. I actually wish that we had more of these, to be honest. It would have made the game more interesting. So what these guys are going to do is they'll throw out a haze that is level 1. Once you defeat it, you can go back to the large enemy and take some health away. Then it will throw out a level 2 haze, come back to it, take some more health off, and then it'll throw out a level 3 haze. Of course, they get increasingly difficult as you go along. This one I'm making short work of. It's really not that difficult. The Ecstasy variant, it's a lot harder on normal, but not the hardest of the Timeloop Guardians in my opinion. Once you are finished taking out that Timeloop Guardian, you can pick up any items laying about and then look up at the statues that are lining the wall. You want to find the one that has the symbol of rage, and beneath it you can input one of the orbs. Choose the crimson orb and place it in the hole underneath the symbol of rage. We're going to be doing that for all 4 orbs. So check the area. Make sure that you've picked up every item that you think you might need. We'll get that one up there later. And then exit out the way that you came. Next, we're going to head over to the Terror variant of the Timeloop Guardian. Of course, while we're making our way there, we'll have a few normal enemies to clear out. You can see Terror over there. And of course, we can't open up that door. It has to be opened from the opposite side, so we'll have to find another way around. Just kind of make your way through the area, picking up any items and taking out any enemies that you see. Here, I kind of went around to the middle of the area. I could have come here later. later. I just decided to take these guys out now. That door, again, has to be opened from the opposite side. You cannot open it from here. You can go through and pick up any items. You'll probably need to have med kits handy. You'll definitely need them if you're playing on normal. This is back where we were before, where we saw the Terror Timeloop Guardian. When you come in here, a lot of these humanoid creatures will stand up. And you can see the Terror guys hanging out over there. This is a little bit of an anomaly because in my other 2 playthroughs, he did not do that. Like, I kind of kept waiting for him to move out of the way and go back toward the main area, but he doesn't. So I decided just to try to take him on from inside of this box, which is going to prove very difficult. I'm gonna have to try to squeeze my way past him, and he makes that very, very hard. On top of that, just in general, I do find that the Terror variant is the most difficult of all of them, and he just won't get out of the way. This is super annoying. I'm trying to make him de-aggro and go away, but he just won't. I don't know if this is a glitch or what the deal is, but I took a lot of damage here just trying to get past him. Finally we did, and we can get over to the Terror haze. And of course, you know, the Terror hazes, they like to hide from you. That's why they're associated with terror, because they'll run away and hide from you. Do your best to take out his various hazes. You can try to bait him back over to the large area where the haze just ran. But for some reason, he just stood right there. So we took him out there. When you come into this large area, look up at the statues that are lining the wall. And we have to find the one that shows grief. Use the Cobalt Orb. Place it in the hole underneath the grief symbol. Then you can come over here and unlock this door from the inside. If you go up into that container, on top is an Ecstasy suppressor, which we won't be needing at this point. And over in the tent here, you can pick up a recording. July 15th, 1990. Now this recording, I find, it kind of gave me like nostalgia vibes, I guess, because I immediately thought of Five Nights at Freddy's Pizzeria Simulator. When it gets a little more quiet and I'm not fighting an enemy, you'll hear that he's playing samples of noises that the sphere is responding to. Sample C. And oh my gosh, it's just like when you pull the animatronics from the back of the building and have to test them. It's just like that. Anyway, I'm coming in here and changing out my weapons. We want to equip Ecstasy and Terror this time, because the next 2 guardians that we'll be fighting are Rage and Grief. Come around the back of the Timeloop, and over here by this truck, be sure to pick up the gilded cap. This should be cap number 8. Put it on so that you don't forget. We get 10 caps in total, but we find 9. So we're almost done with the trophy associated with the caps. You can make your way fully around, open up the doors, and then head over to the opposite side of the large square room. There'll be several enemies just hanging out in different areas. Be sure to check every nook and cranny to make sure that you get them all. We're going to work our way to the left from where we entered from the time loop. Again, this is bringing you back to the beginning. You can go and make a save if you wish right there. So this is where we came in, and we kind of worked from where we came in, we went left, took out those 2 variants, made our way around the time loop, and when we came back to the middle, it's back to where we started. So go to the opposite side, we'll take these guys out. And even though these are not Timeloop Guardians, you can look around and see that there is the terror statue there, but we're not going to go over to it just yet. We're going to climb up here, and we're going to go take out the Timeloop Guardian first. So make your way up the series of ladders in order to reach it. There's another save up here as well if you'd like to use that. Drop down, and then to the left you'll see the Rage Timeloop Guardian. Let's go ahead and deal with him first before going over the group. Same principle applies here. You'll get tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 hazes that you must take out. Then slowly chip away at the health of the large humanoid so that he throws out another haze. And do be careful, because sometimes they will put on the ground. You'll see the ground looks kind of white, black, and wavy. You want to be careful of that. That can damage your health. Once this Timeloop Guardian is taken care of, you can explore this area. As you can see, as we've continued to go on, we've leveled up our weapons. Over there inside of that tent, you'll find a recording that you can listen to.
Odd about myself. It took this long to even notice the difference. It's quite awkward to describe.
There are stairs going up
nothing.
behind the Timeloop Guardian, but we want to go back to where we came for now, because we're going to go and input the Terror Orb. So just climb up the ladders here where we were before.
How is this possible?
Drop down. You can see there are some enemies underneath this scaffolding.
What mechanism drives this emotional vacuum?
And as you come around, you can take them out. There will be several inside of a container underneath the scaffolding. They'll slowly start making their way out over here. You can wait for them, or you can go inside. It's up to you, but I do find it's easier to get swarmed if you go inside the container, so I tend to wait for them to come out and meet me. Check to make sure the terror symbol is above this hole, and then place the Emerald Orb inside of the corresponding hole. You can come into that container to grab a rage suppressor, which of course we won't be needing because we just handled that situation. Then we want to go back up the scaffolding, and we're going to make our way to the other side of the area where we fought the Rage Timeloop Guardian. There's an area in the middle. It also has a save point that you can use if you wish. You can grab the recording off of that little desk there and make your save here if you like. I seem to remember on normal that some of these enemies came awake in this area, but I guess they don't on easy. I could be wrong, but my memory seems to tell me that there were enemies up there. Then you want to come back down, head between these boxes to access the final Grief Timeloop Guardian. Same principle applies. Take out the haze so that you're able to take out the humanoid. Don't forget to use your drone modules, because you can hold the humanoid still while you fight the haze if you need to. I think I wait until it spits out haze level 3. Take out the haze. And finally, the humanoid guardian. This should be the final Timeloop Guardian. You will hear the noise associated with defeating the final Timeloop Guardian. check the statues along the wall and find the ecstasy symbol. Come over and place the gold orb inside of the hole, and if you've done everyone correctly, you'll see that a blue light starts circulating the room. You can come back here and pick up a couple of items if you wish. But we have to go back around to access the time loop. So just work your way back to where we fought the rage enemy, or come and climb over those boxes. Head toward the time loop, and we are going to collapse this one. As you walk forward, it will show you which Amine prism you need. We'll need the row prism. So attach it to Cappy, send Cappy into the fray to drop down the Amine prism and collapse the time loop. Once that's completed, you'll have access to a podium. So just walk up to it, and when you interact with it, you'll see that you can place your necklace in the center. And when you do that, we get the redemption trophy, and that is for completing Act 3. You're going to have a pretty intense cutscene here. I am going to be skipping it. And then after that, you'll be put back into the present day. And that's going to end the story. So I'm going to go ahead and give my final thoughts now during the credits. As usual, we do have another video to go that's going to clean up all of the trophies and everything that we could possibly do in the environment. But since we have our credits now, I'll go ahead and give you my final thoughts. Overall, I was very impressed with this game. I had been looking forward to it for a really long time, ever since it was first announced and I saw the team of developers that were creating it. I was very excited about it, and I think overall it didn't disappoint. The visuals are stunning. I noticed that the NPCs, when they talk to you and you have your camera on them, they put in the detail that their mouths will actually move with the words that they're saying. And I know that's super minute, but you see so often in other games where the mouth just kind of moves, but you can't really, it doesn't look like they're actually saying what the words you're hearing are. And I love that. I love little minute details like that. The environments are visually very stunning. I'm not a big fan of like the cave areas personally, just because even though I played the game, I put it as high as I could for YouTube purposes, but without harming my own visual experience of it. I think it gets too dark sometimes, even on a higher setting, but that is a very minor complaint. The outdoor environments are very beautiful. I didn't have any troubles at all with any kind of visual glitching. The only glitching problems that I had was that occasionally I would run into an issue where the game thought that I was being like I had aggroed an enemy and it was targeting me, but there were no enemies around, so I couldn't communicate with any NPCs. I really couldn't do anything. I would have to travel back to the APC, like warp there or get inside of it, then come out and make my way all the way back to where I was before. And that was a slight annoyance, but it didn't happen all the time. It only happened on my easy playthroughs. It did not happen on my normal playthrough. So I don't know exactly what the deal is with that, but very minor complaint again. I really like the music. I think it fit very well with the setting and with what's going on in the story. It was very simple, but it made sense. The enemies. They did get about halfway through the game, they start to get very repetitive. Your fighting pattern gets repetitive as well. You don't have a whole lot of options of what you can do as far as with your weapons. Like, you basically have heavy attack and light attack, and your variation comes in with your glyphs. So you can do different things with the glyphs, but for the most part, even on a normal playthrough, I use the glyphs more because I don't even think I used glyphs at all in the easy playthrough. In the normal playthrough, I use them more, but honestly, mostly just for healing. So if I ran out of small med kits, rather than going into the data pad and equipping medium med kit, I would just use the healing glyph on my weapon. And then once you hit the enemy so many times, you build your limbic energy back up and you can heal again. So I think that there could have been more variation with the enemies, as well as more variation with not necessarily the weapons. The weapons themselves were fine, but your combat, it could have been a lot more varied, in my opinion. The story, I really enjoyed. I thought the NPCs were fleshed out well. The things that they needed help with, or the ones that are actually helping Remy, or that are part of, why he's there in the first place. Like, he's there to find his mother or his father. Those NPCs were great. I think they fit very well in the world. And the story itself, when you're going back and forth between, he's in the present day getting Veritaserum and on a lie detector machine, and then you come back into what he did when he was in Hadia looking for his parents. I thought that story was great. I thought the ending was great. I think they left open enough room to where they can come back and visit this world again and make a sequel. Or they don't have to. I think they should. And I think they should improve on the enemies and the combat. Everything else was great. I liked the mysteries and the good deeds. Like, those were fine. There maybe were a little too many mysteries. The amount of good deeds it was a good amount. The amount of caps you have to find was a good amount. The whole limbic forging tomes and being able to upgrade your weapons more, that was great. You don't want to spend your entire playthrough, kind of like hunting down collectibles. In this case, it would be mysteries. Like, that does get old after a while. But overall, I think this game was very balanced. I loved the story and the way that it ended, and there were a few twists involved that were really good. In general, I would say if I had to give this game a ranking out of 10, I think I would probably give it a 7.5 to an 8. Definitely worth playing, but room for improvement. I had really, really high hopes for this, and I have to say I'm just a smidgen let down. But in general, I'm happy with it. I'm glad that I purchased it, pre-ordered it, paid full price. I think it was worth the amount of money that I paid for it and the amount of time that I had to invest in it. And I think it's a pretty good recommendation. If you can find it on sale, definitely pick it up. And if you're into this sort of game, definitely buy it. So that ends the credits. You got a very small preview if there is another one later on. And for now, we're going to leave this video here. We'll pick up in the next one and finish off the entire game. So thank you so much for watching. Please join me back in part 19. And until then, Kaji always has wares.